Hi, we're live. This is Patricia Daker with Dealing with Your Diabetes, and it's Monday, so I'm coming on live just to chat with you a little bit. And I bet you did not know this, but today is National Check Your Meds Day. Who knew? So National Check Your Meds Day is sponsored by pharmacists in your community. And the idea is that you bring your medication in and have them check your list and see if you've got any potential conflicts, if any of the drugs maybe are expired. You know, it's just a good time to go see what you're taking, because a lot of times there's interactions, and especially if you have multiple doctors providing you prescriptions, it's a really great way to have an expert, your pharmacist, look over your medication list and, you know, just look for any problems that might be there. So I thought it was kind of fun that there's actually a National Check Your Med List Day. Who knew? But it kind of coincides with one of my pillars of coaching, which is about education and / ownership. We're going to talk a little bit about both. So if you live with diabetes, you absolutely take medicine, right? So either, well, I shouldn't say that. Some type 2s and some people can control with diet. But for the most part, most of us, we're taking something, whether it's an oral agent for type 2s or insulin for type 1. There's some sort of medication involved. And so my challenge to you is to make sure that you know about your meds. What are you taking and why are you taking and what does it do to you and what are the side effects? It's very important, I think, in the first phase and the first approach of living with a chronic illness is you have to be very educated about your illness, how it impacts your body, what goes on, and that includes the meds you're taking, what they do, and why they do what they do. Why are you actually taking them? What are you putting in your body? And based on my nursing career, it's amazing how many people take things because they're prescribed, but they really don't know why they're taking them, right? So if you're going to put something from a pill into your body, probably is a good idea to look it up. So we're going to talk a little bit about some simple ways to do that. So this isn't a really long talk tonight, but one is go through and create a list. So the list is important for many reasons. One, so that you absolutely know exactly what you're taking and that it's written down and you have that information. And then know what each one of them does, right? So look them up. We have Google today, right? There's tons of apps out there where you can go and look up a med and see what actually is it doing for you and why are you taking it. So you should have the name of the med of what you're taking, what doctor prescribed it for you, and then why you're taking it. Why are we taking this thing, right? And then also good to know, is this something you take every day at a certain time? Is this something that you take when you need it? What's it for, right? So I think as you have all these things in your box or in your med cabinet or somewhere, look them up and know why you take them. Number 3 is keep the list. So once you create this list, stick it in your purse, stick it in your wallet, put it on an index card, because, and this is my ER nurse hat coming on right now, so many times people come in, they get in a car accident, they fall, you know, you have a hypoglycemic episode and you wake up in the ER. Well, it's really, really helpful for us to know actually what you're taking. Sometimes medicine in combination can cause some of the side effects that, and that helps us kind of, you know, uncover some of the symptoms of what may be going on with you. So it's very important to have an up-to-date list and keep it on you. If you're a parent, keep it, you know, with your for your child. And if you're a caregiver and you have an older relative, you know, you need to have that list as well. Med list is so important. I can even tell you many stories where I was in triage, right? And so we're taking care of patients, they're coming in, they're telling us about their problem. And we ask, you know, what's your medical history? I don't have anything. And then they would tell us what meds they were on. And simply by understanding what meds they were on, I knew, oh, well, you have hypertension. Your blood pressure may not be high, because you're taking the medicine, but you're taking medicine for hypertension. So knowing those meds really is a great source of information about, especially the clinicians, of what's going on with you. And then the last one is, so first we have write a list, look them up, understand what they are, and write down what it is you're taking and why. Number 3 is why. Number 4 is keep the list, have it with you. And number 5 is review with your provider. So most of the time they kind of go in and they review it with you. I'm going to suggest you flip it. You review it with them. Because the nurse is going to go, are you still taking this? Are you still taking this? How much do you take of this or that? Right? And that's something they do every time. What's your dose? How much are you taking? Is that helpful for you? Really, to regurgitate all that back to them? So what I would suggest is that when you go see your provider, you're like, okay, here's what I'm taking. This is for blood pressure. This is to help, it's a hypertension med, but we're doing it to help protect my kidneys. This is aspirin I'm taking for circulation. Here's why I think I'm taking all these things. Am I right? Do I still need to be taking all those things, right? That's a different process than a nurse saying, do you take, tell me what you take and how much you take, and, it's just different. So if you own that information and own that information exchange, you're going to learn something, right? And you can ask some questions. So that goes into that side of ownership. Just because you're going to the doctor, you don't have to be passive. You can say, here's what I'm taking. Does this still make sense? Do I need all these drugs? Are there any I can get rid of? Are there side effects? You ask the questions because you're going to walk out of there with a lot more information. Okay. Let's see what else. So we just talked about that 5 little tips. So it's National Check Your Meds Day. Make your med list, get it out, write it down, look at all your meds, what you're on, look them up and understand what they do and why you are taking it. Keep the list somewhere close and review it with your provider. Very important stuff. So if that sounds a little bit too much, I want to offer you a worksheet that I have. And if you link below this webcast, then I'll provide you with that list. And it's what I call a provider worksheet. And so when you go to the doctor, not only do we have to have, here's all the meds I'm taking, there's a lot of other things you want to think through before you go. And so it's a comprehensive worksheet, not just your meds, but many other things as well, that you could print off, fill it out. And so when you go to your doctor's office, you're armed to really have great conversation and think about more than just the basic diabetes things. There's more stuff that you probably could get from this interaction. So you get the meds list piece plus a bonus. So that's going to be in the link depending on where we're watching. If we're watching on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, I will put a link and all you have to do is click the link and give me your name and stuff, and then we'll email you the list. One other opportunity, and I'll put this list as well, is I am getting ready to launch my home coaching video series. And if you would like to become an early adopter, there's a link, again, under all of these posts, and you can go and sign up to be an early adopter. That group of people is going to get either the course for free. So I'm going to pick a certain number of people that are going to be our first-time viewers, and they can go through the course, give me feedback, but they'll have access to that information for free. And at minimum, you're going to get a discount on pricing of the coursework when it comes up. So that home coaching covers my 5 pillars, which is about education. MedList falls under that. It's about emotions and how you feel about things. It's about motivation, why you decide to do what you do or why you can't do what you want to do. We're going to also talk about ownership. That's kind of today, taking charge of your health, your diabetes, your way, and making sure that it works for you. And number 5 is all about communication. Even though those things don't sound like diabetes, they're critically important to find peace and comfort and ownership of, I'm going to call diabetes this crazy toddler, right? We have this little toddler that runs around that does whatever he wants. We've got to learn some super nanny skills to keep him in check. And so those are the things I focus on. So sign up for the free download or sign up to be an early adopter. Okay, that is it this week, talking about education. Be sure and subscribe, get my future updates, and I will see you soon. Bye. And how do we end? There we go.